Hi everybody out there in Facebook. I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. We are out here at the Fox Island Bridge. I just was hanging out with my family and happened to notice it was a nice low tide, so we thought we'd pop down and just see what it is that we can see. So let me flip it around so you can see just how gorgeous a day it is today. It's a negative 1.5 foot tide right about now. So I just want to show you a couple of interesting things that we've come across just in the last couple minutes now. The tide has just started to come back in. You can see my family are practicing their mountain goat impressions here. But we've got lots of algae, and hidden in this algae are some really large crabs. So we're seeing a lot of big red rock crabs. I have to be careful where I put my feet and move slowly so that I don't crush anybody. But we're gonna make our way over to those pilings to show you some of the sea stars that are here. So maybe that's a good thing we can focus on our little walk here. Along the way, there are lots of sea cucumbers and huge anemones. So let me show you some of those. We've got a really big anemone right here. During the low tide, they really just sort of sit and wait. And gravity is not really kind to them. They kind of look like hangy balls of snot. There's several of them down on in here, but the tide's coming back, so they don't have long to wait. We also have a lot of sea cucumbers. Those bright orange hot dog looking creatures are sea cucumbers, and they're waiting for the tide to come back and bring them lots of plankton. There's also a lined chitin in here. I'm going to move this rock. Let's see if we can see anything interesting underneath it. Oh yeah. Okay, check it out. There is a porcelain crab, a little one. They get bigger. Okay, try to be really steady. He's pretty small. This is the thicker, the granular porcelain crab. See, he's got that really big claws. Super cool find. There's a leafy hornmouth snail here. This one's a little one. I saw some that were as big as my fist earlier. And then this beautiful chitin. So in this habitat, it's pretty rocky. This is all the foundation of the Fox Island Bridge. So it really is different than, say, the natural habitat that would be out here, which is glacial till and kind of sandy substrate. So I pulled out this rock, and there's some really cool, interesting creatures living on it. So this tube thing is a Calcareous tube worm. Here's one that's got its feeding crown kind of out. It's called a corona, and it's a really feathery, bristly plankton capturer, which is really cool. But this orange on this rock is called bryozoan. Let me see if we can see it better in the sunshine. See those little tiny little dots? It almost looks like crochet. Those are the individual zooids of the bryozoan, which is a moss animal. It's not moss, it is an animal. They're really cool. I like to say they crocheted themselves into existence, which is great. And then in this rocky habitat as well, I'll put that rock back, there are tons and tons of purple short crabs. It's hard to focus on this guy. He's hidden in the kind of crevice here. We'll probably see another couple of them as we go along. This is great habitat for them. They really like this rocky shore. All right, I'm gonna walk carefully. The barnacles do give a little bit of grip. Oh my goodness, this poor sea cucumber. Oh buddy, gravity is so hard. But you can do it. The water's coming back soon. Here's what they look like when they're not quite so stretched out like that. This is the orange cucumber, and they have feeding tentacles that are bright orange. Sometimes they're kind of a deeper maroon color. Oh, like this one. This one right here is kind of maroon. He would have maroon tentacles. Tucked up inside here, we got a few more species. All right, okay. Oh yeah, look, we've got some leather stars here. Lots and lots of leather stars. If you stop and look, you can see all kinds of them. This is one of my favorite algae. This is Iridescent Kelp. Just remove some of this. You can see that kind of blue sheen to it. It's really rainbow. It almost looks like an oil slick. Such a pretty species. You can tell it's a red algae, one, because it's red, but also because it's fairly elastic. It's kind of bumpy. We've got a kelp crab here. In fact, lots of big kelp crabs, they like to be on these pilings, and then when the tide goes out, they get kind of concentrated towards the bottom. A few more. Oh, here's some more of those leather sea stars. There are just tons and tons of them at this beach. And then we get over here, we're directly underneath the bridge now, and there are Okra Sea Stars. So these are the purple variety of the Okra Sea Star. For whatever reason, here in the south part of the Salish Sea, we tend to see more of the purple varieties. Out on the coast and in more wave-swept areas, they see more of the tan varieties. So not sure exactly what that's about. Here's another anemone. This is called a Christmas anemone for kind of obvious reasons. The red and green color of their column. And if I gently touch them with a little wet finger, you can see them stick to me and react a little bit. Don't want to poke them because they can lose their water that way, but with the tentacles out, you can see how they're really good at gripping. He's holding on to me. He's using stinging cells, and if I were to touch him with like a soft part of my body, that would really hurt. Up in here, more leather stars, more of those cucumbers. Super great. So we've got a nice low tide series over the next couple of days, and we'll be going live on Facebook and TikTok, and we can't quite go live on YouTube until we get our subscriber count up to 10,000. So go over to YouTube and hit that subscribe link there.
Try to count how many.
Oh, trying to count how many anemones? Yeah, there's a lot of anemones, and these anemones, there's a couple different kinds we'll talk about. Right here we've got some Plumos anemones, the little white ones, and they have kind of feathery tentacles that stretch outward. And then, oh, look, there's a fish. Can you see the fish there? There's a little shiner perch just kind of hanging out, and you can see the current has changed. When I first got here, it was kind of traveling to the right, and now we're headed to my left. This is the tidal change. It happens twice a day, every day. There's a cool kelp crab over there. There's actually a lot of kelp crabs right in here. You can see just the feet of a few of them that are tucked in here. More leather stars. Giant barnacles are here. So this right here is a giant barnacle. And he saw me coming and closed up. Here's one that's open. Oh, he saw me too. They can see, which is weird to think about, barnacles being able to see. They're relatives of crabs and shrimp. And then we've got these aggregating anemones. Eli, were you brave enough to touch an anemone?
I was brave enough to throw a rock at it.
Well, don't throw a rock at it. So I'm going to get my hands nice and wet, and I'm going to give him a little pet. So you can see that they react. They're just, yeah, you're right. Amazing colors today, Mary. These guys are blue and pinky purple. Or blue, sorry, green.
I saw a big purple sea star too.
Yeah, and speaking of big purple sea stars, there's one right here at our feet. There's lots of really nice leather stars. Yeah. Do you want to touch a sea star, Evelyn?
He's trying to eat.
You want to touch a sea star? He can't hurt you, babe. Cool, right? Eli, what does this smell like to you? Some people say leather stars smell like bleach or gunpowder. Spaghetti? I've never heard them called that they smell like spaghetti, but maybe we'll go with it. They're really, really cool sea stars. This one's sticking to me a little bit. They've got these 2 feet underneath. Super cool. All right, well, I didn't plan to go live today, but we were at the beach. It was so beautiful, we just had to. But tune in. Make sure you subscribe in our events tab. You can see where we've got some beach walks planned. We'll be going live tomorrow morning from Day Island, hoping, fingers crossed, for an octopus adventure, which would be really, really great. But yeah, like our pages, follow along. If you want to donate, that'll help us continue to be able to offer this education. If you're on TikTok, go follow us there. We've got like 35,000 followers on TikTok, which is crazy, but really awesome. We love all the support, and we're trying to find different ways we can to get our message of stewardship out to whoever will listen to us, which is great. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the beach a little later this week. I'll leave you with the beautiful view of the mountain there.